Hi guys, how's it going? So today I'm up at our allotment. So I just thought I'd introduce you to our allotment, which is where we grow our vegetables, some of our fruit. So I'll just turn the camera around and I'll show you what the place looks like. So we've basically got two rows of plots. So we've got a path that goes all the way down. We've got some plots on this side and then some plots on this side. And there's loads and loads and loads of plots. And our plot is about halfway up on the left. So the allotments are just up the road from us. So we've got quite a big garden at home, but it's just not big enough to grow loads of veg and loads of fruit. So we decided to take up an allotment. So it was the autumn before all the COVID lockdowns. So we got the allotment, didn't really do much with it that autumn. We had to basically spread some manure. I think that's all we did for that, so for the winter. And then we sort of took back up in the March, in springtime, where we started planting our first things. So this is where our allotment is. We're number 82. So if we walk down here, we've got our neighbour's allotment first, which is all the way down to, I don't know if you can see that little bit there, it's kind of gone blurry, but all the way down to the tub. And then from here onwards, all the way down is our allotment. And you can see our little shed in the background there. So as you can see, it is a little overgrown because we've literally done nothing. A lot of weedage going along. So I've definitely got to get on with some weeding. We haven't really done anything to the allotment since October. We spread a bit of manure in autumn, and I planted some garlic, which we're going to have a look at just to see if it's actually come up and growing. But yeah, there's a lot of work to do just to get the plot ready for springtime, for when we're going to start actually planting our vegetables. So I'll just give you a little tour around to show you what's there at the minute. Obviously a lot of it's vacant at the minute because we've not actually planted anything yet. So starting off at this bottom bit, we've actually got, I don't know if you can actually see them because they're literally just sticks. We've got 5 fruit trees. So we've got 2 at the back, which I don't know if you can see those there. 2 apple trees, and then we've got 1 in the middle, which is, I think that's a pear, and then we've got a plum and a cherry in the front. So it's sort of in like a little pattern. These are dwarf fruit trees, so in theory they're not going to get that big. They look really like sticks at the minute. We only planted them, was it the beginning of last year we planted them? So literally we had no fruit on them last year. I did a little bit of pruning on them in autumn, well, over winter. And so yeah, I'm hopeful that there's going to be something growing. I mean, I think if you look on there, you can see some buds starting to form. I think this has got buds on them as well. So there's the fruit trees, and then next to them we've got a couple of rows of dahlias. So last year I planted a few dahlias from seed, and they came up, they flowered really nicely. And then obviously we've chopped them down, and fingers crossed they're going to come back. So we live in South Nottinghamshire in the UK, sort of equivalent USDA Hardy Zone 9, although we don't get as warm as hot as other Zone 9s do during the summer, but we get very mild winters, so in theory they should winter over okay. So the tubers are down below the ground, and fingers crossed they will come up at some point. So apologies for the audio. It's quite a windy day, gorgeous sunny day, a little bit of cloud going on, but it is quite windy. So after the dahlias we've then got lots of space, which is where we do all the vegetables, all the way down. And I think I can see some of our garlic growing, which is really exciting. So here is our garlic. So I've just done a couple of rows of garlic because we're only a family of 4. We do not eat that much garlic. So we'll see how this goes, and maybe next year we'll plant a little bit more. So after that, we've got 3 gooseberry bushes. So we've got one there, and then one there. So hopefully we'll get some nice berries from them. They're quite new, so we'll hopefully get something from them this year. And then behind them, which you can't really see because there's so much grass growing, we've got some raspberry bushes growing. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got another one there, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Yeah. So 7 or 8 raspberry bushes, but to be honest, last year the fruit was so small that I think we're going to have to pull these and plant some more. So as they get older, they just don't produce as much, and the berries get really small. So I think this year might be the year to take them out. And then beyond that, which is looking really exciting, we've got our jostaberry bush, which looks like it's got tons and tons of buds on it, which is amazing. So we planted this early on last year. So last year we didn't really get much. We got a few berries, but that was it. But hopefully this year we will get a lot more. It looks like it's loving its life where it is. So jostaberry, I think, is a cross between a blackcurrant and a gooseberry, I think. So really excited to try that out. And then beyond that, we've got, I think it used to be 2, but I think it's just 1 red currant bush, which is there. Again, we didn't really get much off that last year, so I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. If not, we'll have to put a new one in. This red currant bush my mum gave me from her garden, so fingers crossed for this year. And then beyond that, we've got our little rhubarb section. So I don't know if you can see, there's a few little bits just starting to pop through. So those are the little crowns of the rhubarb just starting to pop through. So we've got quite a few rhubarb bushes there. And then beyond that, we've got our strawberry patch, which again is very overgrown with lots and lots of grass. So that definitely needs a good weed as well. So last year, because it was so hot, we had a real heat wave during the summer last year in the UK. I mean, like 40-degree heat. We're just not used to that. And I was loving it, but even I mean, I love the sun and I love the heat, but even I was like sweating outside, but it was glorious. But our strawberries did so good. We had tons and tons of strawberries. So fingers crossed this year, we're going to have a nice hot summer again, and we'll get loads and loads of strawberries again, because I love coming up here with the kids. They love coming to just have a look, pick them, eat them along the way. So other than that, we've got our shed, which is in front of us, and then to the right of that we've got some sort of composting going on, although it's not really composting, it's just we've chucked things and then they will decompose very, 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 very slowly. But we do need to sort that out this year. We need to sort out some composting. We need to sort out a water butt as well, because last year when it was really hot, we just didn't have any water saved up. We have got a hose here which we can use. We've got taps, but it would have been useful just to have that little extra water in the water butts. So when we took this allotment over, it was not very well maintained. There were lots of grass growing everywhere. I think the previous tenants they hadn't done much with it. They hadn't done much maintenance, so it was pretty wild. So all the way through these last couple of years, we've been trying to just get as much weeds out, get as much of the grass around, because the plot is just full of like a network of grass. So every time we do a bit of weeding, we try and pull as much grass up as we can. So it's just a continuous thing. We've got to keep doing it. So guys, that is our allotment. So it's quite a big allotment. Obviously, when it comes to springtime, we're going to be planting lots of vegetables in there. So I'll take you along for the ride and we'll see what comes up this year. So the first year we had the allotment was during lockdown, the first lockdown, COVID lockdown. So we had loads and loads of time. My husband was off for 8 weeks, I was off, the kids were obviously home, and we could obviously go for our little one exercise a day, which is what we had in the UK. We could go out one exercise a day. They didn't say how long, so we just used to walk up to our allotment and spend our days at the allotment, which was brilliant. So we were out the house, out of the garden, up somewhere different. So our plot did really, really well that year. We had loads of time to tend to it and got loads of produce from it. Last year, was it the year after? Yeah, the year after, 2021, was okay, not as successful as the year before, and then last year was it was okay. We did okay. So anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you're having a good day and you're getting out in your gardens or your allotments, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.